I feel like too many people overcomplicate living in a van. I live in a van. I live in a van. I live inside my van. I don't leave my van to go to the bathroom. Let's talk about this. I see this in a lot of forums, and people are saying things like, I will not go number 2, family-friendly YouTube. I will not go number 2 in my van, or unless it's an emergency. What are you doing? Like, are you a cat? Because cats will only, if you go ahead, take your cat's litter box and move it over there, they're gonna have a breakdown, right? Or after the cat goes to the bathroom, they're cleaning their litter. So don't be a cat. Live in your van, enjoy it. Me personally, I go inside of a bag in a bucket with the toilet seat. You can get on Amazon, fairly cheap, about 10 bucks. Bags are $6 for 40, so that would be $6, about $6.50 I think, $6.47. So $6.50, $6.50 every 40 days, technically. Maybe there's a day where you need 2 bags, or maybe some people can get by with 80 bags. Whatever, it's not that big of an expense. Comes out to about what, $5 a month or something? I live in my van. This is my home. So when I initially built this van, for me, I wasn't gonna live inside a van unless it felt comfortable to live inside of a van. Like, it had to feel like an apartment, a very small apartment, but it had to feel like an apartment. I wasn't just gonna jump into a steel box with a computer and a phone and watch Netflix on a phone, which people do. I don't know why. Computer monitors are very, very cheap. Roku's, I got an Apple TV, but a Roku, you can, what, 20, 30 bucks? I'm just saying. There's no need, it's choice. I'm not telling you what you should and shouldn't do. I'm talking about me, keeping that in mind throughout this whole video. These are my preferences, and it might sound like I'm pushing them onto you. That's just kind of how I'm designed. I don't care what you do, but maybe, one person used to say to me all the time, I'm not you. Don't make me try to think like you. And my only logic in my head was, still is, but if you did think like me, your life would be so much easier because you overcomplicate things, unlike I. So, I live in a van. This is a queen size mattress. This is a 10-inch memory foam mattress. It's not a bunch of blankets or pieces of foam tacked together. This is a mattress from my house that I cut with a bread knife, an electric bread knife. That's what works best. I cut it so that it fits the width of the van. And now I have a bed and TV all the way. Right? I will lay this way and watch TV. This is chill. This is how you live. Things I would do differently, I'll get into maybe at the end of this video. But for now, I live in my van. This is the only point of me hitting record on this camera, is to talk about I live in my van. I poop in my van, I pee in my van, I watch TV, I eat, I brush my teeth, I sleep. I live in my van. This is van life. I do not leave my van to go into a restaurant, Burger King or something, to use their bathroom. No, I poop in a bag, in a bucket, inside of a van. I pull said bag out a bucket, I tie a knot in it. I tighten said knot. I put it to the side until I leave the vehicle, the van, and I take it with me. I do not reuse the same bag. That would be gross. If you want to be economical, knock yourself out. I guess that's where all the discussions about cat litter and the little thingies you get for sprinkling in. I'm not going to dress up my poop. It's not going to happen. I'm not sprinkling something on it so it doesn't smell. And hang out with me. I live in my van. This is van life. I left a house in Las Vegas, 2-story, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-car garage. And prior to that, I left a 2-bedroom apartment in Lynn, drove to Las Vegas, moved into a house, left the house, came back here, moved in with a friend, lived there for 2-3 months, and then moved out into my van. That was 1 year ago, and here I am. So the things I would do differently: my bed wouldn't be half of my van. Although it's nice and it can accommodate many people, I don't have a need for that. I now have different needs. I have needs for a functional seat height. This is not a functional seat height. I would have to have a desk up here, which some guy, if I find it, I'll link it, but he had a cabinet and piece of board between the two drawers, and then he tucks it down. I don't have time for all that. I need something that's static, and it's always gonna be there. But I need to sit and type, and you know, sitting on a bucket, using my bed as a desk is typically how my setup is. That doesn't work because the bucket is about 3 inches too low, and that might not sound like a lot, but trust me, it is. The difference between the angle of your thigh being level or having a slight pitch makes all the difference in the world on how comfortable you are. So bucket's too low, bed's too high, plus there's no rest. You know, you can't sit back in a chair and chill. So what I would do differently is I'd have a futon bed, not a built out transformer bed, although those are cool. Those are really cool. I'm not downplaying that whatsoever. That would be super cool. I just wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't have too lazy. So I would actually buy a regular futon frame, metal preferably, and it would just sit right here like a couch. And on this side I would have like a counter. I'd have something that pulls out into a nice working desk height. And then if I need the full size bed, I would just pull it out like you would in a house. But I would have this walk-through space, which would be amazing. I'm just now limited to my side doors. I can go through the curtains in the front. I will show you guys my entire van, I promise. I do have curtains. I can walk right through the front if I want, but having more real estate, like where you can put your feet on the ground, where you can walk through, would be so much better. Although I still plan to do that. However, this mattress is amazing. And one thing I did learn about van life, being in a van, is in the cold, if I shut my heat off and leave for the day, the cold, the memory foam gets super stiff when it gets cold. And then as it heats up, it gets softer. I didn't know that. Obviously, I didn't have freezing houses by day and warm them up by night. So yeah, it gets really, really stiff, but the stiff memory foam, I try to tell people this all the time, like, oh, I could never do it. Yeah, because you're thinking about a stiff bed, and if you take a stiff memory foam mattress and you lay on it, oh, it feels amazing. I love it. I wish it would stay that way. However, I'd have to get rid of my bed in order to get the futon in here. I don't know. Lighting. I have tape over my lights right now. I don't know if you can see that, but this is just black duct tape. I'll show you the light. So as you can see, the light is very, very harsh, and if I dim them all. The light back there, I just recently put in. I did not have that light back there, which was very needed because it was super dark back here. Like, see, it just blacks out, right? It was super dark. I needed the light back there. And these lights, I realized after putting in that light, I was like, oh, wow, these lights. So I would have been way more thoughtful about my lighting layout, okay? That's 2. 3, my fan, which is right above you, sitting just between the driver and passenger seat, inside the van, not inside the cab. That fan would have been all the way back here. I would have a fan back here. I can still put in another fan to have 2 fans, which would be awesome, and I will do that. And the more I talk about it, I think I should order one. But definitely have a fan back there. In the summer months is when I learned the value of having the fan back there. Laying in the bed in the summer, having the fan wide open, blowing on you, it would have been amazing. However, back there, I'd have the side window slit open, back window open, and that fan pulling full speed. And the only time you got any type of relief is if you're just laying face into the open window, you get a breeze. You just literally have to stay there with your face in the window. But if it was the other way around, with air blowing in and going out, it would have been awesome. Plus, if one's pulling and one's pushing, oh, it would make a excellent current in here. So that's 3. I don't know. I don't know what else I wouldn't have done. However, I live in my van. I eat, sleep, bleep in my van. I live in my van. I couldn't imagine if I was gonna live in here. So the mindset I had when I moved in was that this has to feel like it would feel if I was in a bed at home, propped up in my pillows, watching TV. It has to feel like I'm in my bedroom. It can't feel like I'm in a van. It doesn't have cabinets and closets. I don't have any of that. My clothes are under my bed in plastic rollouts. As far as not going to the bathroom in the van, living seems to be very restricted, what they do and don't do. Living with multiple people, I could never imagine that. I've seen people post things like, you think van life would work for me, my husband, and 4 kids and 2 dogs? Huh? No. Get a bus, get a trailer, like a tractor trailer, the you know, one of those, the container. No. So just live in your van, enjoy it. Enjoy the freedom, enjoy the no mortgage, no rent. Enjoy being able to keep your money. Enjoy the simplicity. The life is already complicated and messy, you know? Make it simple. So if it's raining outside, I mean, different parts of the country, I get it. If I envision, as far as going to the bathroom, if I envision living in the desert, like parked out on some BLM land, I'm just gonna go dig holes. So when you look outside, it's just like a graveyard of feces containers in the earth, because I don't want to go inside my van. I guess it depends on how far from the city I was and how deserted I was, but I can't imagine why I would be that far and that deserted and that off the grid. No internet, just waiting for the vultures and the coyotes to come and take what's left of your empty carcass, your dead soul, all because you don't want to poop in the van.